Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. It's Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast. It's 5 p.m. on the West Coast. Friday morning at 1 a.m. in London and 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Hi, everybody. Welcome aboard to another edition of Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much for joining us. We're coming to you live from New York City, as we always do. And, of course, we bring you great conversation. All you have to do is just be part of us. If you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just type your little fingers, use your little fingers, and it'll get you right in there. We'll entertain all of your questions and ideas and anything that you want to talk about, because that's the purpose of the show, to get people on the move on the show. And thank you so much for being along with us. We're here every Thursday, as I said, and we're here for a full hour. So you and I are going to exchange conversations for a full hour. We've got great sports coming up, sports talk back live sports with Brian Camp, who's coming in a few minutes, and he's got the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. We've got great information about the movies, those Turner Classic movies that you like. I have a few of those I want to talk to you about that I can recommend you for the weekend. Also, we have this day in history, all of those marvelous events that happen right throughout the year. So thank you so much for being along with us. As you know, last week we were in Charlotte, North Carolina, speaking of Brian Kemp, because we went to visit him and we did the show live at his place over there in Charlotte, North Carolina. We had a great time. And now here we are back back in the great state of New York, and New York City, to be a little more blunt. So we thank you so much for being along. I want to say hi to all of you guys, both in Facebook land and YouTube land. We're simulcasting, as we do simulcast each week. Right? We simulcast each week for your convenience. And if you can't catch us on one, you can catch us on the other. And if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, of course, you're going to want to, check in with us by, I would say, yeah, you check in with us because you don't have to miss a show. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. All you have to do, because when you do that, you'll be in touch with us all the time. No matter what we post, we might post different videos, pre-recorded videos, or even live. You'll be notified when that happens. So there you go. And that's what's happening right here. We start the show each week by giving that hand clap. We want to say hello to each and every one of you. That hand clap, the hand clap is for you too, of course, for being so loyal to this show, and the hand clap for all of the people who work in places like the hospitals. We can't forget those people, the doctors, the nurses, and all other people that work in the hospitals, all of the physicians there that did a good job all of these years, along with the people that work in the smaller chains of mom and pop stores, the grocery stores, the supermarkets, all of those places that refuse to shut down and make sure that they service each and every one of us. So we want to thank them along, and we need them more than ever, because the pandemic is on, and it's on strong again, and it seems like we're going backwards, but we don't want to do that. So we want to make sure that everyone is in the know about that, and we also encourage you to take your vaccination. If you haven't done so yet, there's plenty of time to do it. We urge you to do it. People are still on the fence. A lot of people are still on the fence doing that, and we want to make sure that they do that. Now, if you don't want to take your vaccinations, they're doing a lot of mandates now. And I don't know how this is going to work. It may, I don't know. I could see it doing better if that happens. It's just too bad we have to get to this point. So anyway, that's where it stands right now. So we want to make sure that everyone's is on top of this. And if you don't know where to go get vaccinated, all you have to do is contact your local office where they give the vaccinations. You can get it at a pharmacist. Your primary doctor may have a supply of whatever that's available, such as J&J, Johnson & Johnson, which only requires just one shot. You also have Moderna and Pfizer. And pretty soon, if you're eligible, you'll be able to take your booster shot, which will be available on the 20th of this month. So we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance. And if you haven't done any of that, please jump on board and do it. That's all I have to say. We can't beg you to do it. We can't force you to do it, but we're just reminding you that on this show, we encourage you to do it. So there you go. So thank you so much for being along with us. I will give you that number if you look, watching us on Facebook. You look up here, look over there, or down here, wherever, however you're watching this show, depends on how you're watching it. You'll see the information right there where I have the name of the show, today's date, and all kinds of other information. And that at the close to the bottom, you have what they call the COVID-19 test, and there's a telephone number there that's available for you. It's a local number, but it gets you places. It can get you in touch with anyone that you want to talk to. That number is 718-638-7682. That's 718-638-7682. Call that number. I'm pretty sure you'll get a live voice. They'll be able to walk you through whatever questions you may have, or you want to find out the location of getting the test or getting vaccinated. They can help you out with that. Also, you can also, in your local area, I'm pretty sure there are numbers that you can get in contact with, and they will tell you the same thing. And of course, there are websites too. All you have to do is just Google. It's a matter of Google. So with the great thing of technology that we can get any place, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time, we can do that. So thank you so much for being along. People are starting to come in, so I just want to say hi to you guys. Thank you so much for being along with us. We're going to talk to you all momentarily, and we'll see about that. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, it's Thursday. I can't believe it. I mentioned a fact early on the show, just at the top of the show, that we were in Charlotte, North Carolina with Brian Camp. We do that every now and then. We had a good time. Brian, who will be here by way of telephone with the sports later on, he hosted us, and we really appreciate it. We had a good time over there, just being in that sunny state. They call that the Queen City, Queen. So that's where we were, Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was great. The sunshine was there. It was out the whole time that I was there, that whole weekend, that whole holiday weekend. And speaking of the holiday weekend, I hope you had a good one. And of course, we got over that storm. You know that, right? Here in New York anyway. And all across the country too, they were feeling the storm, heavy rain. And the night before I was supposed to take that trip to Charlotte, night before, I didn't know. I didn't know if I were going to be there on time or whatever it was. It was something that I had to look at. But it was storming the night before. But when I woke up that morning, it just seemed like nothing happened. And surprisingly enough, all transportation from New York City to the airport and flying was on time. It was like nothing happened. So that was great. So it was a great trip, and hoping to do it again soon. So we'll talk to Brian pretty soon. As the rest of you guys on Facebook, I want to say more people coming in. So I just want to say hi to you guys. Thank you so much for being along with us. And we've got a lot of stuff. So if there's something that you want to say in particular, please say it. We'll entertain all of your thoughts and your ideas. And if you have any questions or ideas and you just want to relay it to me personally, of course, if you look up there, and those of you who are watching on YouTube, it's in the chat area, very top of the chat area where you chat. It's right up there. And you can get in touch with me through my email address and my telephone number. You see it there? So if you want to contact me personally, you may have ideas, maybe suggestions about the show or whatever, or even just to say hi. We really would appreciate it. And, give us some feedback. Feedback is welcome as well, because that'll give us an idea on how, we can get things going, make additions to the show, or maybe subtract from the show to balance it out to make it look good. So that's where we are right now. So thank you so much for being along. The weather is not bad in New York City. We had rain earlier because there's still part of that storm that's coming in. We get the tail end of that. So, we had a little rain, but that's going to clear out tomorrow. We get sunny skies tomorrow. In time for the weekend, my weather here in New York. In time for the weekend, the weather should be pretty good. So we look forward to all of that. And again, thank you so much for being along with us. If you heard on the news by now, actor Michael K. Williams best known for his role as Omar Little on the HBO show The Wire. He has passed away. That's old news, but we got it. We just wanted to relay it to you anyway, just in case you haven't heard about it. But he passed away this week. He was 54 years old, a young man at 54 years old. And Williams was found dead in his New York City apartment Monday afternoon. This past Monday afternoon. And by golly, it was right in the middle of the holiday, too. Monday afternoon, he passed away. They found his body in his apartment. Investigators found drug paraphernalia there. Paraphernalia. Got to get it out there. Drug paraphernalia next to his body. So they're still investigating on that, and it's ongoing right now. I haven't heard any more, but if any of you had heard any more about that, please let us know. But that's the information I got right now. So we want to say a hearty and heartfelt condolences out to all of his friends, his family, and all of the people who work with him, the members of HBO and what have you. All of our condolences go out to him, his family, and all of his fans as well. So thank you so much for being along. See more people coming in, so I just want to say hi to you guys. And I hope that you did have a long, great holiday weekend. What do you do on a holiday like that? Labor Day. Labor Day is like the signal holiday, okay? Letting you know that summer is unofficially over. And so now it's back to where we're supposed to be, back to school, which of course this week I believe starts school again, right? That all starts again. And it's back to school, and it's back to work, and it's back to reality, and it's back to getting ready to do Christmas shopping and looking forward to Thanksgiving. That's the last thing. That's the last holiday of the summer, Labor Day. So I hope you had a good one. A lot of you guys went out there and barbecued. I don't know how the Labor Day holiday came about, but I'm so glad it did. But I guess it's just to remind people who have labored all their lives and slaved and toiled and made it a good job for American people like myself and you, of course, So there you go. So anyway, it's 12 minutes past the hour right now. I can't believe that we just lost that much time already. Brian Camp will be here just momentarily with sports and the latest developments in today's world of sports, and that's all coming up. And that's coming up right away. Hey, look who I brought with me today. I want you to meet, when was the last time you seen one of these guys? Well, they call them trolls, right? But I'm nice to this particular troll. His name is Mortimer. I brought Mortimer with me. He's sort of like my good luck charm, When I bought Mortimer, and I don't know if you can buy them anymore. I guess you can find them maybe on Amazon or something like that. You can still find them somewhere, but you very rarely see them. So when I saw him, which a few years back, even when they were out of style, right? I saw this, I had to pick it up. This Mortimer was dressed up in a Zorro outfit. He had the mask on and the cape and everything. I said, no, you wouldn't be a real troll if you had to dress up this. I took the cape off, took the mask off, and this is how a troll looks. This is the way a troll looks. So Mortimer, that's my good luck charm, is around here with me, and I brought him here with me today. So Mortimer, you stay inside anyway. Anyway, thank you guys for jumping. Hey, more people are coming in. I want to say hi to you guys. Whenever you guys want to speak to me, I will acknowledge you. I see people who are in the room, but they're not saying anything, but that's okay, just as long as you're here. And we hope that you do get a chance to spend the rest of the hour, the duration of the show with us, so we can have fun, and we'll give you all kinds of information. I did mention that I have this Day in History coming up, and that's going to happen like later on in the show, probably sometimes after Brian does sports. And of course, again, I have all of those great movies that you guys like, those classic movies, Turner Classic Movies. It's all around. So I have all that information for you, and it's coming right here. And just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And if you're joining us for the first time, don't make it your last time. Make it your weekly habit. We're here each week, every Thursday night between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. Everything is Eastern Standard Time. And speaking of all of that, the clocks are going to be going back pretty soon, right? Spring up, fall back, so the fall is on its way. So I think I'm not sure of the date just yet. I can look it up, but I'll if I can find it somewhere in the course of the show, I can let you know. But the clocks will be set back. I believe it's somewhere September, October. It could be somewhere in December, but I'll check that out for you. I will check that out for you. But in the meantime, right now, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, we have Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports with Sports Update on the phone from Charlotte, North Carolina. Brian, thank you so much for having us over there last week. We had a good time.
Oh, yes, we did. My home is your home and vice versa. You know, it was great having you there to spend some time with you. And it was great having for the weekend holiday. We were safe. We was cautious, you know, we ate, we had fun.
Yeah, we did the show together, and I thought that was fun, you know, and taking away my solo part of it, you know, it kind of, you were there, and you were there for the whole show, hosting it, both the coffee hour and Talkback Live, and it was fun that way. I enjoyed it.
Yes, I enjoyed it too. Hopefully we could do this again soon, and, you know, we just have lots of fun, and we just continue to have fun. You know, we take one day at a time. Life is short, but yes, hopefully one day soon we could do this again.
That's right.
So let me get to sports. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. First, it's 75 degrees out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's clear. It was cloudy today, but in the evening it started clearing up. In the NFL, the New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick remarks on Monday on vaccination, even though the team would be better off if anyone if everybody would be vaccinated. He said it wouldn't solve all the problems. Coach states a pretty high number of vaccinated players, coaches, and staff members have been infected by COVID-19 in training camp. Now, the NFL previously announced that 68 players and staff tested positive for COVID-19 out of 7,190 tested individuals during a 3-week stretch from August 1st to the 21st. Now, as of this week, 94% of NFL players and more than 99 of the other football-related staff members are at least partially vaccinated. So we're getting somewhere with the NFL, but not all are vaccinated. Now, he also says unvaccinated players are tested daily and are required to follow a series of additional protocols, while fully vaccinated players are tested once per week. Now, National Football Players Association, which is the players' union, has demanded daily testing for all players, saying it would reduce the chance of vaccinated players spreading the virus to each other. So that's where we stand with that. Tonight's sports is really based on the vaccine and everything about how to be safe. So, and speaking of which, the Major League Baseball concession workers at San Francisco Giants Oracle Park on last Saturday voted overwhelmingly to strike, cited concerns over COVID-19 safety and health coverage. According to the Unite Here Local 2, that's the workers' union, at least 20 concession workers have contracted COVID-19 since the stadium reopened this season. According to the union, 96.7% of active stadium workers voted to strike. After 26 months and no ceremony, I'm getting ahead of myself. So basically what they say that they are going to continue to strike until they come up with a solution. Now, mind you that they did finish the weekend series against the Dodgers, so they voted on Saturday to strike, but they did work the next day, which is the Sunday. So that's what they did. So, back to our words, that after 26 months and no ceremony, Major League Baseball finally had their Hall of Fame inductions. Congratulations to Larry Walker, Colorado Rockies, who spent his entire career there. Ted Simmons, who's long waited for to be inducted. Labor pioneer Marvin Miller, and the great Derek Jeter into Cooperstown, New York, and they are now Hall of Fame. Now, due to COVID-19, Major League Baseball was unable to have the ceremony for these Hall of Famers. The majority of the fans turned out for Derek Jeter, who won 7 pennants, 5 World Series during his 20-year career, in which Jeter collected 3,605 hits at place of 6 on the all-time list. So the majority of the people that were there, the fans, because it was very easy to meet the players there, you could take pictures. They were all there for Derek Jeter, and congratulations to the players that I just mentioned. In the NBA, vaccine requirements specifically in New York City and San Francisco would be enforced for teams, those into those cities. For members of the New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets, and the Golden State Warriors, unless there are approved medical or religious exemptions for taking part in them. Both cities recently passed laws requiring some level of COVID-19 vaccination in various settings. In New York, beginning on September 13th, that's going to be, I believe, on a Monday, anyone over the age of 12 will not be allowed to enter certain covered premises inside arenas in cities like including the Barclays Center, downtown Brooklyn, home of the Brooklyn Nets, Madison Square Garden, the mecca of all arenas, home of the New York Knicks, and as well as other indoor gym fitness settings without proof of at least 1 dose of COVID-19 vaccine, unless there's an approved medical or religious exception for them, not doing so. Now, in San Francisco, it beginning October 13th, everyone over the age of 12 must show proof of being fully vaccinated. Now, that's the difference. They got to be fully vaccinated. In New York, it would be partially at least, but fully vaccinated before entering any large-scale event, including NBA games at Chase Center as well as indoor gyms and other fitness facilities. These laws only apply to players on the Knicks, Nets, and Warriors, and not to members of the visiting teams coming to play those clubs. So, they're getting really strict because this is a new sport that's getting ready to start tonight. Football season starts as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will do their ring ceremony as Super Bowl champs. They are the kickoff should be starting any second now, and so the winter sports, which is hockey and basketball and football, they're very strict about this. They want to make sure that there is going to be no kind of contact and want to have complete safety. Now, here's a story here I came across. This is soccer. Jean-Pierre Adams, an ex-footballer, that means soccer. In American sports, we call it soccer, but in Europe, they call it football, who fell into a coma in 1982 following a botched knee operation, has died at the age of 73. Now, Adams, who was born in West Africa, let me see if I can pronounce this, born in Dakar, Senegal, that's in West Africa. Now, Adams left for France at the age of 8. He turned professional in 1970 and played for several clubs. Now, Adams went on to play for 9 consecutive seasons for France's top division. Adams injured his knee during a coaching session and went to the hospital for treatment. Now, many staff members at the hospital were on strike during that time. They had a big strike that I don't know what the strike was about, but they were on strike. Now, the anesthesiologist, the anesthetist, that's the person that does the gas to cover, to knock you out, was looking after 8 patients. somebody who wasn't really fully authorized. Adams was badly intubated with 1-2 blocking the pathway of his lungs rather than ventilating them, meaning that he was starving for oxygen. Because of the several errors of his care, Adams suffered cardiac arrest and brain damage, sending him into a coma from which he did not wake up. In the mid-90s, authorities punished our trainee and the doctor, giving them each a 1-month suspension sentence. Adams was 73 years of age, so he was in a coma for 39 years. 39 years. That's unbelievable. That's almost 40 years, and they kept him alive as long as they could, but could not do it. This day in sports, in September 9th, 1945, Jimmy Foxx hits his 534th and final home run. 1955, Don Zimmer hits the 4,000th career Dodger home run in the franchise history. 1960, the Denver Broncos beat the Boston Patriots 13-10 in the AFL's first game before 21,597 fans at Nicholson Field in Boston. 1965, LA Dodger future Hall of Famer Sandy Koufax throws his 4th career no-hitter and first perfect game. You could throw a no-hitter and still not get a perfect game, but he did. Once you pitch a perfect game, it's an automatic no-hitter because you was 27 up and 27 down. That's the minimum that you could face and get them all out consecutive, and that's how you could be able to get that achievement. It was a 1-0 victory over the Chicago Cubs at Dodger Stadium. In 1970, Bowie Kuhn, the former baseball commissioner, suspends Denny McClain for carrying a gun. How smart was that? When he was carrying it in a baseball game, I don't know. But he carried a gun, and the commissioner at that time suspended him. 1983, Vitas Gerulaitis bets his house that Martina Navratilova can't beat a 100th-ranked male tennis player. So he bet his house. We don't know the outcome of it, but that's what happened. I guess he was being a male chauvinist when he was trying to say women can't beat men at all. But if you know the history of that, Bobby Riggs faced Billie Jean King in a match of the sexes, and Billie Jean King beat him. So much for that talk. Larry Bird, 1987. Larry Bird begins the NBA free throw streak of 59. In 1987, Major League pitcher Nolan Ryan strikes out his 4,500 batter. At that time, he is the all-time record of 5,714 all-time strikeout record. 1988, Atlanta Braves Bruce Sutter joins Raleigh Fingers and Goose Gossage to save 300 ball games. Those are true relievers. Those relievers back then pitched 2 innings, sometimes 3 innings. Not taken away from Mariano Rivera, who comes in the 9th inning with nobody on base and pitches 9 pitches and he gets saved. So some people think that he padded the stats, but these are the old-time relievers who just come in and face runners on base and pitch 2 to 3 innings to get a save. 1991, Mike Tyson indicted for rape of Desiree Washington. 1992, first time Baltimore Orioles drew 3 million fans at home. In 2002, Randy Johnson reaches 3,000 strikeouts for the 5th consecutive season, extending his major league record. In birthdays, 1967, B.J. Armstrong, born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 1972, Mike Hampton, former baseball player, was born in Brooksville, Florida. By the way, B.J. Armstrong was a former basketball player. We used to play with the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. 1978, Sean Battier, another NBA player, born in Birmingham, Michigan. Not Birmingham, Alabama, but Birmingham, Michigan. And in 1985, J.R. Smith was born in Freehold, New Jersey. And that's sports.
Oh, boy, something, with all of those great sports, that was great news. But the big news that I was happy to hear about is Derek Jeter was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Well deserved too.
Well
I
deserved.
must say, yes, well deserved. He's a bastard of the sports. Everybody loves him. You can't say anything negative about him. He's just a player. He's a better man, better player, a better individual, and surely, without a doubt, a class act.
Absolutely. Never got caught up in a scandal or anything like that.
Never.
But I am glad
No,
that...
you know what? Let's just say that he was. There was a tax situation where he had owed some taxes, but it was settled. But that was the only kind of scam that was involved. But he was, other than that, clean cut. Never had any problems off the field.
Yeah. I'm glad that he got it at his young age, because he's technically young. He's 47 years old. And, it takes years for some people to get what they're due. And I'm just glad that, he got it now. And he's still in baseball. He's forever a Yankee. And he's settled. He's done everything that there is to do after this career. He's got a nice family now, and he's just enjoying the fruits. And that's the way.
And owner of the Miami Marlins too, which is owning a baseball team. Yeah,
that's right. And speaking of the Yankees are behind by 2 runs. They're
oh
losing.
boy,
they're losing by. They're playing
they just had a 13-game winning streak. Now they've lost two of the last 12 games.
Yeah, I know. They're playing Toronto Blue Jays right now. So, hey, look, the game is not over yet. I think it's let's see, we're at the 5th inning. I think at the bottom of the 5th inning right now. So
it's still early though. It's still early, so they can always come back.
Yeah, we got a little time. You know that article you read about Mike Tyson, right? There's a video. Did you ever see that? There's a video about him. I don't know if you've seen it or not. There's I guess it's like a mini movie or something.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Well, I have a copy of it. I haven't seen it in a while. I have it somewhere around. But he talks about that, all of that. But I think Mike Tyson kind of cleaned his act up a bit. I think he found God. I think he found religion. I don't know. Do you know about that?
No, I wouldn't say he found religion. He's more of a humble individual. He went through a hard time.
Yeah.
He was battling some demons, put it like that. But he always had a great heart. I remember Mike Tyson, born and raised in Brownsville, in New York, in the Brooklyn section of New York, and he used to come around every holiday for Thanksgiving and just give out truckloads of turkey.
Mm-hmm.
He got into some financial difficulties, was broke.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that Don King had a lot to do with that, but Don King had a lot to do with a lot of things with boxes that he covered. So he's doing. I don't know how he's doing, but he's coming along.
Yeah.
And we just wish him the best.
He doesn't curse reporters anymore. When they ask him questions, he'll answer to the best that he can do. But there's no more.
Well, that comes with maturity,
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think he's a little bit more humble than anything,
Well, I don't knock him from doing that, because there are other athletes and entertainers that do worse. So so we can't say that he's doing anything new. But he did grow up, and he's doing the best he can. So I salute Mike Tyson. And again, congratulations to Derek Jeter.
Yes, congratulations to him and to the rest of the players and the people who was inducted into the Hall of Fame. They waited 26 months to have a ceremony, yes.
Yeah. All right, Brian, I guess we'll catch you back here tomorrow on the coffee hour.
Sure thing, yes.
Okay, you take care of yourself. Have a great evening.
You too, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, with the latest developments in today's world of sports update. He's here every week on our show. And let's see, he's calling back. Anything else that I miss? Okay, there we go. Okay, we missed him. Okay, so he's done everything in sports all of these years. I encourage Brian to get his own show. He can do. I said you could still do this. If you want. It's a pleasure to have him. He's got a place here. But I encouraged him. Hey, something. He's very good on sports, and I said you ought to get your own show. Well, I guess if he's ready to do it, he'll do it. But he can do it. He can do it. Okay, in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much for joining us for another Thursday. We're here every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And of course, remember, it's always Eastern. And we bring you information like sports like that. And we talk about a lot of things. And if you want to get in on conversation, if there's anything in particular like you want to talk about, please feel free. And we'll just entertain all of your questions and ideas and even your conversation. That's what the show is all about. I want to continue to say hi to all of the people who have come in. People are out there, they idle people, but that's okay. Thank you so much. For all of you guys who are watching us on YouTube, I mentioned earlier that the information that I said earlier about email address, telephone number, the COVID-19 test number, all of that, it wasn't up there at the time. But if you go back there, it's up there. It's inside the chat area. Inside the chat area. It's right at the very top, so you can check it out right there. And the information is right there. All of that information is for you. So if you ever want to get in contact with us, it would be great. Again, it's Thursday. How do you like that? The week goes by so quick, but it's a short week for most of you. It's a short week. A lot of you may have worked on Monday. I don't know. Those of you who had the luxury of taking that whole weekend off right through Monday, well, this is a short week for you. As a matter of fact, you have today is Thursday. We have tomorrow is Friday. One more day. You go back to work, go to the grind one more day, right? And it will be over, and the weekend is back. And just like you just got out of a weekend, and you're going back into another one. So that's the way that goes. Okay, it's 22 minutes coming up. It's 22 minutes to the hour right now. And again, it's all Talk Back Live. On this day in history, 1951, the first broadcast of the soap opera Love of Life aired on CBS. On this day in history, 1953, WFIE TV, Channel 14 in Evansville, Indiana, and that's an NBC station. They began their first broadcast. On this day in history, 1956, Elvis Presley appears on the Ed Sullivan Show for the very first time. In 1957, U.S. President Eisenhower signs the first civil rights bill since Reconstruction. In 1963, Alabama Governor George Wallace, remember him? He served a federal injunction to stop orders to state police to bar black students from enrolling in a white school. You remember that? I remember that very well. In 1966, the National Traffic and Motor Vehicle Safety Act is signed into law by U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson. 1971, John Lennon and Yoko Ono appeared on the Dick Cavett Show on the ABC TV. And the same year, John Lennon released his Imagine album. Great album. You like that album? That was a great album, Imagine. And a great song, too. In 1978, let's see, what happened in 1978? 1978, Ayatollah Khomeini calls for an uprising in the Iranian army. In 1981, the late Vernon Jordan resigns as president of the National Urban League. In 1985, President Reagan orders sanction against South Africa. On this day in history, in 1990, George H.W. Bush. That's George H.W. Bush and Mikhail Gorbachev, yeah, the two of them met in Helsinki and urged Iraq to leave Kuwait. In 1999, the 16th MTV Video Music Awards were given to Lauryn Hill and Will Smith, and they won, of course. The year 2001, Band Brothers, that's the name of Band Brothers, based on a book. That was, I think, a play. Band Brothers. It was based on a book by Stephen E. Ambrose. And it was created by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. It all premiered there. In the year 2007, of course, that wasn't so long ago, as you know, 24th MTV Video Music Awards went out to Rihanna and Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake, and of course, Fergie too. All of those people, right? The year 2015, we're getting up there, right? Elizabeth Taylor II, Queen Elizabeth II becomes Great Britain's longest reigning monarch. That's that's monarch, yeah. At 63 years old and 7 months, beating the previous record set by her great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria. That's right. And here's something. Colonel Sanders, whose real name is Harley David Sanders, he was born on this day in 1890, and he was born in Henryville, Indiana, here in the United States, of course. He passed away December 16th, 1980, at the age of 90 years old, and the cause of complication of pneumonia and leukemia. And he took the secret recipe along with him. It's not a joke. I'm just saying. No one knows that secret recipe. Okay, of course, whoever inherited, yeah, they know the secret secret recipe. You ever have saliva go down the wrong pipe? Okay. Actor Clifford Robinson, born on this day in 1923 in La Jolla, California, and he passed away September 10th, 2011, at the age of 88. Natural causes. R&B singer Otis Redding, who, by the way, wrote the song Respect for Aretha Franklin. He recorded it. He wrote it and recorded it. And Aretha Franklin covered it back in 1967, but it became her own. Anyway, Otis Redding was born on this day in 1941. He was born in Dawson, Georgia. And he passed away December 10th. I remember that fateful day in 1967. He was only 26 years old. He died in a plane accident. He was on his way to the gigs. And, of course, he had the Bar-Kays, a rhythm and blues group, used as his backup group. They were all on the plane except for one. And he was the only survivor. On this day in history, 1945, R&B singer Dee Dee Sharp, born in Philadelphia, PA. She's celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Dee Dee, doing the mashed potato. 1951, Tom Wopat. You know who Tom Wopat is? He's a country singer. He also played on the Dukes of Hazzard, the TV version of Dukes of Hazzard. And he also played on One Life to Live, that soap opera. And he was born in Lodi, Wisconsin. In 1952, Angela Cartwright was born in England on this day. She also was known for playing on Make Room for Daddy and Lost in Space. And of course, if you remember The Birds, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, The Birds, well, she was the young girl in that movie. Okay, and actor Hugh Grant was born on this day in 1960 in London, in the UK, and he was 60 years old. He's 60 years old today. It's hard to believe that, right? Hard to believe we're all getting older. Actor Adam Sanders was born on this day in 1966. I'm partial to him because he's a Brooklyn boy, born in Brooklyn, New York. He's 54 today. And actress Michelle Williams of Dawson Creek and My Week with Marilyn. She played on those two. She was born on this day in 1980. And she was born in Kalispell, Montana. And she's 40 years old today. In 1995, ice skater Nancy Carrigan got married to her agent, Jerry Solomon. In 1995, singer China Phillips weds actor William Baldwin. William Baldwin. Those are one of the Baldwin brothers. And let's see, what else do we have? Okay, actor Burgess Meredith, legendary actor Burgess Meredith, was born, of course, November 16th, but he passed away on this day in 1997 at the age of 89. And of course, again, he was born November 16th, 1907. His cause of death was complications of Alzheimer's disease and melanoma. Okay, and I remember her very well. 1993, O'Connor. Helen O'Connor, she was a big band singer. She sang with the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra, and she appeared on TV on the Today Show from 1956 to 1958. She passed away of cancer at the age of 74. The late actor Patrick O'Neill. He played on Under Siege and The Stefford Wives. Remember that movie, The Stefford Wives? And of course, the King Rat, Knight of Igno, and he passed away at the age of 66. Today, that's a pretty young age. This day is pretty young. Year 2020, Ronald Bell of Kool and the Gang, saxophonist and composer, right? He passed away at the age of 68, and that's this day in history. So those of you who have any information on what's happening on this day in history, of course, we would love to hear from you. Maybe it's something I didn't cover that you know about, that I should know about. Come on, let me really write in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Talkback Live. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much for being along with us for another Thursday. And of course, we're here every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And we simulcast each week on Facebook and YouTube and Facebook. And we simulcast each week. So if you can't catch us on one, you can catch us on the other. Now, those of you who watch us on YouTube, please, be part of us, right? I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go there, subscribe. You can do that right now. And this way, when you do that, you'll never miss a show. You'll never miss anything that's posted on there, like pre-recorded videos or anything like that. You'll never miss any of that because you will, of course, be notified, by email, and because we want you to be part of this show. We want you to miss a show. And please, those of you who are watching YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching, pass the show along to people. You have that ability to do that, You can do that. You can tag a person. If you're on Facebook, you can tag someone. And of course, if you're on YouTube, you could do the same thing. Just pass it along and rope all of your friends and relatives and everybody else that you know and bring them to the show, and let's all have fun. And we're just one big family, one big happy family. Thank you so much for being along with us. Okay. We've got movies to talk about. Right? We got those movies to talk about. You like those classic movies, right? I know I do. I love those classic movies. I have a chock full of them in my library. And, when I get the fever, I'll either watch Turner Classic Movie first, because that's one of my favorite oldie movie channels. And they have all the classics there. And I have picks that I, of course, bring you each week. And this week I have 3 picks that I think you're going to like. 3 of my favorite. Now, just because they're just 3 picks that I have, that doesn't mean there isn't anything on there that you might like. Something else could be on there. Check it out. Okay, the first one. Here's something Brian likes. The West Side Story will be on from 1961, starring Richard Beymer and Natalie Wood. That comes on Turner Classic Movies. That will be on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you're hanging out Saturday afternoon Eastern, 3:30 p.m., it's The West Side Story on Turner Classic Movies. That's coming up, and I think you're going to like it. Also, The Hustler, the same year, 1961, George C. Scott, Paul Newman, and Jackie Gleason, of course, made an appearance on that movie, too, on Turner Classic Movies. That comes on Saturday as well at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and that's a great movie, too. And there's a lot of Paul Newman fans out there, I would imagine, but that's coming on, too. And here's another classic, From Here to Eternity, 1953. That's also on Turner Classic Movies. That comes on Sunday morning at 11:45 a.m. Eastern. So if you're up and about, and that's like only 15 minutes before noon, so you should be up by then. If you don't have time, if you're going to church or something and you won't be there, you can you could VDR these programs and watch them on a later date. All of the programs, if you don't have time to see them in live live or as I say, in real time, check it out. And check it out. So let me see. Well, someone is saying here. Okay, so Brian says Jets versus the Sharks. Yeah, that's it. Sounds like a team, right? The Jets versus the Sharks. And when he said Jets, I was thought right there. The first thing I thought about was New York Jets. But Jets versus the Sharks on the West Side Story. You'll see all of that. Again, that's West Side Story. Starring Richard Baymer and Natalie Wood. Richard is still alive, by the way. Natalie, she's no longer with us, but Richard Baymer is still alive. And so if you're watching Richard, your show is coming on. Remember, that's West Side Story. That's Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Turner Classic Movie. You have The Hustler with George C. Scott, Paul Newman, and Jackie Gleason. That's Saturday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And From Here to Eternity, that's 1953. That's Sunday, 11:45 a.m. Eastern, and that's all on Turner Classic Movie. Make sure everything is Eastern, so set your clocks accordingly and watch the Jets and the Sharks. Boy, crazy boy. Okay, so that kind of does it for that. And so if you're just joining us, and I see more people are coming in, you're joining us late, that's okay. You're joining us late? Okay, don't let it happen again. Be part of us each week. No matter where you're watching, no matter where you are around the world, I don't care where you are around the world. We hit the UK. Of course, a lot of you know that. People from the UK, from Japan, from all over the place, from Africa, from New York, from Charlotte, North Carolina, and then you have all of the people that live in Maine, in Portland, Maine, where DJ Pete lives, and Florida, and Las Vegas, and parts of California, and all of those great cities, and of course Arizona, and where it's really hot and sticky and dry, but it's out there. Everybody, no matter where you go, I don't care where you go around the world, you can pick us up. All you have to do is stay in touch with us, and of course, again, as I said, those of you who are watching us on YouTube, all you have to do is follow us. You can follow us on Facebook. You can on YouTube. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll never miss a show. So there you go. So guys, thank you so much for being along with us. As you already know, this Saturday marks the 20th year of 9/11. Yeah, and so this is the serious part of the show. 20th year of 9/11. And I got to tell you, people, I never forget that day. Where were you guys? I would like to hear from you guys out there. If you're out there watching, listening, I'd like to hear, what were you guys doing that day? Do you remember where you were that day? Do you remember where you were that day when the planes crashed into the building? While you're thinking about it, let me tell you where I was. And I say it every year. Because I remember it very well. The only thing about it is that I didn't find out until about 2 hours after the event. 2 hours after the event. Now, a lot of people say, wow. And something, the funny thing about it, I live in an area where if I were up on top of my roof, you could see the Twin Towers up there. And, of course, in downtown Manhattan. And I'm sort of like Midtown Manhattan, but it would seem that I would have heard a crash or something, and I didn't hear any of that. I never forget it because I was just coming out of the hospital. I was recuperating at home, and I'm sitting there watching TV, just normal day, watching TV, recuperating, and I noticed outside my window, there was a lot of sirens going on because I live on a real busy street. So I didn't think of anything. Sirens going constantly. Okay, it's a busy street. Hear it every day of the week. I hear it. But then I started to realize that those sirens that were going by, the noise was just too consistent. There wasn't a break. You get a siren go by, and it breaks. And then you get another one. But this was like so consistent, it just kept on going, and it started bothering my ears. So I didn't even look out the window. I said it didn't faze me. So what I did, I picked up the phone and I wanted to call my brother, right? Picked up my phone And first I picked up the landline, and I couldn't get anything. Couldn't get a call out, nothing. I said, okay, someone's not doing their job. Then I tried my cell phone, nothing. Couldn't get anything. So that threw up a red flag. So as soon as that happened, as soon as I couldn't get a call out, I couldn't even do an email. So I said, now wait a minute, I have my cell phone, I have my landline, I can't get any emails out, there's something wrong. So that threw up a flag. I looked outside, I looked out the window, there were cars going by, police cars, fire trucks, everything going by. And that really threw up a big flag. And as soon as I turned on the TV, I turned on to CNN, and right on cue, as soon as I turned it on, they showed the image of the building coming down. I guess they were rebroadcasting because, like I said, it was only 2 hours. It was just 2 hours that I found out about the event. And you could see the buildings going down. And I'm thinking to myself, is this some kind of joke? Is this a movie or what? Because sometimes they do movies like that, But, and then that's when I come to realize that there was trouble in paradise. And I turned on CNN, and that's when they showed it. And it was terrible. And so that's my memory of 9/11 on that fateful day. That's my memory. And it was a sad day, of course, as you already know. And this Saturday, as you already know, they're going to have all of the ceremonies as they do each week. They'll be televising it. No matter where you are around the world, you'll see it. It'll be on, all the networks from all around the world will be broadcasting it. And so you'll get a chance to see it. And it doesn't even seem that long, 20 years. And here we are once again. And for some people, they still didn't get over it, especially for people who survived it. We've got the survivors, and they're all going to be there on ground zero on Saturday afternoon, or Saturday mid-morning, whenever they start. I would imagine it's around 11 o'clock, because that's around the time they usually start the ceremonies and calling out the names. But the people who didn't make it, they're what they're doing, honoring them, honoring the firefighters, police officers, and civilians who were walking by and didn't make it. And as you can hear, there's a siren going on right now. So I'm going to take that as just another siren going by and nothing more. So anyway, they're going to do the ceremonies on this Saturday, so you'll get a chance to see it on TV. And again, we have to salute all of the people who didn't survive it. And for the people who survived it, we pray for them, because I'm pretty sure, I just couldn't imagine. That the people who survived it, they have to be on. They have to even feel it today. It has to be felt with them today. I can't imagine. It didn't happen to me, but it's that close where you might have had friends and family, and you may. At this particular time, I don't know of anyone. I didn't know of anyone. Now that's not to say that I might have known someone that I haven't seen in a long time that got caught up in that. Whether they survived it or not, I don't know. But unfortunately, I didn't have a family member or anyone like that that got swept up. I've received a lot of calls all that time. I received a lot of calls from people that I know, on the other side of the world, across the country, to see if I was okay. And when the phone service got back, they trying to get in touch with me. But yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's honor them. That's this Saturday. That's 20 years later. This Saturday, 9/11. Let's keep everybody in mind, all of the survivors and non-survivors. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to be back tomorrow with Brian Camp and DJ Pete. We're going to be together on the Coffee Hour. Brian Camp, part of the 2020 feature with the latest developments in today's world of sports. DJ Pete with entertainment news 20 to the hour, and reciting all of those birthdays of the people of notoriety. That's all coming on. So I want to invite you too, and you can join in the conversation. We'll have a good time together. Other than that, I will be back here next week for more Talk Back Live. That's next Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And it's right here, simulcasting on Facebook and YouTube. You guys have a wonderful morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant good night to each and every one of you. Take care, ladies. Bye.